Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Thank you for joining us here on ItsHappening.Africa as we bring you final day action from the Gauteng Invitational 2025. 5th-6th playoff up next here in the Jubilee Pool. In the dark caps, in the traditional maroon, we've got the Maties Vics playing against local rivals UCT. On paper, UCT come in as favourites, first team against the second team. But the Maties Vics have certainly been punching above their weight so far this tournament. They are stacked with talent. A lot of these players have played provincial A-sides all the way through. So they'll be sure to give the boys from UCT a run for their money. As we get ready with final prep here, quick war cry from the Maties. UCT lined up and ready to go.
Let's go UCT!
And referee Chris Royne getting us underway here. He's joined on the whistle by Lucky Letsabo on the near side. As Karabo wins the swim off there. An early exclusion there against Paul Enthoven. Holding on the neck is the adjudication from Letabo. Matt Fenn with the early shot on the left-hand side, but well covered in defence, and the Maties will come away on attack here. Enthoven getting pressed by Mark Smith. Big tussle in the hole here. Greg Price a little bit heavy on the shoulders. Good work from Thomas Truter, holding position well, forcing Price over the top, and he will spend 20 seconds in the naughty corner. Swart in possession. Enthoven to the number 8, Matthew Hayes. Shot comes from the far post there from Cosmo Enthoven this time. That's off the woodwork, and a little bit of a chaotic start to this. 2 early man-ups in each of the first 2 possessions. Neither team able to take advantage. Ball down to the right-hand side. Driver coming across, trying to break the drop. Maties have stayed there as we see a little bit of a kick out from Karabo. Ball does end up with Mark Smith in the hole. He draws the foul. Mamaragane. He's going to put it in. Good defensive work from Enthoven there. Big legs as he comes out. Big front mark from Nick Pierce here. Sorry, Josh Reinecker. Looking at the wrong number 9 on my list. Shut off the hole for the Vics. Declan Lesh pressing out to cut down the pass into the hole. Good awareness from the goalkeeper. Swart drives down. Ball comes over, but it's over the top. And although there was a little bit of a hold there from David McDonald, couldn't reward that. McDonald taking the shot there from the top, but good save from Ryan Dawson in the cage there for the Vics. Game's just lacking a little bit of structure. You can see the Vics have got 4 players in a row just on the halfway line here. Drives come down, there's some space on the right-hand side. It's Swart opting to hold on to the ball. He's going to look for Truter in the hole. Ball's going to go in now. He's created some space, has Truter looking for the turn, and he draws the exclusion there on Reinecker. Not Reinecker, that is Nick Pierce there. For UCT, who's been excluded, he's going to make the change with Greg Spit. There's Coach Jubbs rotating his centre backs. 3-3 formation. Enthoven takes a crack and Cosmo puts it away, bottom right-hand corner, beating Declan Lesh. And we're underway. The scoreboard is ticking. Price will get us underway here. Mama Regane on the right-hand side. He's got Cosmo Enthoven for company. Big press here from the Vics. Ball with McDonald on the right-hand side. The rolls come in, and that's good work, and Paul Enthoven's going to go to the corner again. UCT trying to play the quick pass there into Aljuan Durant. But Letabo still blowing the exclusion, asking them to slow down. Ball down to the right-hand side, looking to create space on the post. Price in possession. It comes to the left-hand side, and Samuel Hansen having a crack, but it's well blocked there. Man on man now. But Mamaragane is wide open on 2 meters, and he puts that away. A little bit sloppy from the Vics as they're pressing the ball on the top, leaving the man wide open on the 2 meters. And players of this quality aren't going to miss from there. Karabo making absolutely no mistake in front of goals there. Another high press here from UCT, trying to put the Vics under a bit of pressure. Really good work from Hansen up at the top there, not allowing the easy pass. Ball comes to Josh Reinecker, who's able to draw the foul. Hole is not on. He goes across to Ross Stewart. 8 seconds left on the shot clock here. Shot's probably going to come. He does let fly as Ross Stewart, but that's away to the right-hand side of the cage. Declan Lesh untroubled in goals. Double whistle here from Letabo. And in fact, there's a red card for pulling the cap there from Cosmo Enthoven. And he's going to be sent from the stadium. That's a little bit silly. Just over exuberant, over physical. Ball to Timothy van Heerden on the right wing. Comes up to McDonald's. Price. Across to Calvin Kidd. Sorry, that's Ross Stewart is the UCT number 7. Price has a crack. It's fallen to Durant. And he draws the 5 meter from Ross Stewart. Number 3 for the Vics there. Samuel Hansen stepping up, and he makes no mistake, going left with the pen, and UCT have their first lead of the game. Calvin Kidd in possession. Josh Ranica looking to turn, draws the foul. 4 seconds on the clock, he's going to have a crack. That's off the woodwork. And Ross Stewart doing well to hold on to possession. It will be another 20 seconds here for the Maties. Some holding there this time. Ross Stewart of the UCT. 2 Ross Stewarts in the water, one for each side. Here's Reinecker on the right-hand side. Up to the top for the Vics. The other Ross Stewart. Cross to the number 14, Matt de Villiers. Shot comes, but that's a big block and great defensive work from the UCT. 15 seconds left in this first chukker. Price is going to have a crack from range. Comes back to Durant, who has another crack. He tries the slow poison. But Ryan Dawson's in goals there. He's good enough. And that's it from the first chukker. We'll be back in just a moment's time with the rest of this game. So UCT go into the second chukker with a slender 1-goal lead. At first chukker, the two teams very much just feeling each other out. A couple of extra man's opportunities on both sides not taken. I'd like to see the finishing from both sides just to be a little bit better in this second chukker. Get the scoreboard moving a little bit more. The drive comes down on the right-hand side here. It's Matthew Hayes in possession to Swart. Back to Hayes on the right-hand side. Big balk from him. He's going to go across cage. Unlucky, that's just off the upright there on the right-hand side of Declan Lesch's goal. As Nick Pearce comes away with the ball. He puts it into the hole looking for Mark Smith, but it's good work from Steph Swart. There's an extra play on the right-hand side, and the ball comes from Dawson to Matt Hayes. Ball into Enthoven, who's got the half turn and draws the exclusion. That's Zach Cicero. Up to Swart on the top. He goes across to Max Scully. Back to Swart. Back to Hayes. To Scully. Haven't really moved the defense, but Swart's going to have a crack from there. Declan Lynch gets two hands to that. The Vics really need to work harder and moving the defenders, opening up the shooting channels. UCT doing really well there to get big hands up and protect the cage, making Lesh's job that much easier. Ball goes into Mark Smith in the hole. There is a drop that comes down from Matthew Hayes, but foul drawn. Comes across to Durant. Looks for Mamaragane, and Karabo puts it away, gets some space in front of the defender, makes absolutely no mistake. And we got the scoreboard ticking again. Swart with Mark Smith for company. Comes up to Hayes on the right-hand side. Enthoven looking really hard against Leo Pereira. McDonald almost getting in for the steal ahead of Scully there. Back to Swart. UCT doing really well to hold Enthoven and Truter on about 4 meters here, shutting down the attacking options. And Swart's going to have a crack. Lesh gets a hand to that, so it will be a 2 meter here for the Maties. Enthoven's going to come to the corner to take the 2 meter. He's got Pereira for company. Goes straight into try force the steal, but goes over the top and gives the foul away. Hayes working down against Durant. Enthoven's going to bring the ball around. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Not a huge amount happening as he tries to force it across to the left-hand side, but Karabo wide awake there, slips into the lane and makes the steal. Here's Mark Smith. He's got space in front of goals. A little bit slow from Mark Smith there, but he managed to get on the turn and draws the 5 meter from Paul Enthoven. And that's the 3rd major there for Paul Enthoven. So he's done. Both Enthovens out of the game now for the Vics. So Matt Fenn stepping up to take it, but that's a big save from Ryan Dawson. Strong left hand there. Ball was in the middle third. Going to be going under the arm or top bins if you're going to be beating keepers of this quality. Ball to Nick Pearce on the top. He goes across to McDonald on the right-hand side. Durant working hard in the hole, as is Mark Smith on the right-hand side. It goes to Durant, who draws the exclusion from Scully. UCT have an opportunity here to extend the lead to 3. Mamaragane to Durant. Back to Mamaragane. But that's a poor pass, and Matthew Hayes comes across and makes that steal. Scully's going to bring the ball up the right-hand side here for the Vics. And Matt Fenn getting caught on the back here. Of Adam October in possession. Matt Hayes trying to draw the 5 meter off Matt Fenn by throwing the ball at him. And referee Chris Warren wise to that. Shot comes from Hayes on the top, but that's off the crossbar. Again, a little wasteful in front of goals are the Vics. They're 0 from 1 from the penalties and 1 from 3 from the man-ups. And that's really the difference here between the two teams. Ball into the number 11. Shot comes from Sam Hansen on the left-hand side. McDonald. Big ball He's going to let fly, and he finds the top right-hand corner. UCT just edging away, going through their processes, capitalizing on the opportunities afforded to them by the Vics. And it's now a 3-goal game here at the Gauteng Invitational in the 5th-6th playoff. Duck under there from McDonald in the hole, and he's going to get kicked out. Really important here that the Vics get on the score sheet. Momentum with UCT completely. They're going to have to work their defenders around, move the ball quickly, clean passes. Ball comes across to Calvin Kidd. Makes no mistake this time. And we're back to a 2-goal game here as we edge towards the end of the first half. Nick Pearce in possession. He's going to come across to Hansen. Back to Pearce. He goes across to Ross Stewart. Has a crack, but the keeper was across on that side of the goals was Ryan Dawson. Makes an easy 2-hand save. And here comes the Vics on the counter. There is space on the right-hand side. Ball comes across to the left-hander, Josh Reinecker. It's Cicero across quickly, and that's a loose pass. Goes straight to Mark Smith, who's going to bring the ball away on the counter-attack. And we've got a 3-2 playing out here as Adam October gets caught by Hansen, a bit slow on coming back. Now that's a big save there from Ryan Dawson. Important that keep the Maties Vics in the game as we head towards the second half. 5 seconds left, but that's a loose pass there to Nick Pearce, who's going to take the long shot, but an easy save for Ryan Dawson in the end. That's it for the first. (4-2) at the change of ends here in the 5th-6th playoff for the men's. UCT have certainly controlled most of that first half, playing their tempo and slightly more accurate in front of goals, taking their opportunities when presented. One big save from Ryan Dawson at the end of the second chukker, though it did keep it to a 2-goal game. Maties Vics with all the work to do here going into the second half. And that's Reinecker who wins the swim off. Ball to Swart at the top here. Mark Smith for company. Another big press from the UCT. Hayes in possession. Oh, Swart on the right hand side. Oh, at the centre. He's looking for Calvin Kidd. There is a 4-on-2 playing out here. Goes to Hansen, to Durant, who's got space. There is an extra man still on the right-hand side. That's Mamaragane, but the defenders are now back in place. McDonald now. Mark Smith is in. Ball comes in, and Steph Swart gives away the kick out right on top of the shoulders. Ball to Hansen. Loose pass there though, in between Mamaragane and McDonald. Greg Price now in possession. Durant on the left-hand side. Another loose pass. 5 seconds on the clock. Shot's going to come. And that was wasteful from the UCT. 2 poor passes and a poor shot in the end. As Calvin Kidd now comes away with possession. The Vics a little bit slow on getting up and attack. And Matt de Villiers now working into the hole. He's got Karabo on his back. UCT have another counter playing out. And ball comes to Hansen. He's created space for Greg Price. Looking for Karabo on the far side. He's going to go cross cage and makes no mistake there. Good shooting from the UCT number 10, Mamaragane with his second. Extending the lead once again for the UCT. Ball into the hole there. Truder working really hard. Draws the foul. Drive coming down from Hayes on the right-hand side. A good switching there from Durant, helping Mark Smith out. Hayes now has possession. Great defense as Durant puts both hands up. Hayes looking for the foul to try to get the 6-meter shot off. Van Heerden now on the right. Come to Matt Fenn. He's got Calvin Kidd over the top of Van Heerden, so it will be a foul. Leo Pereira working hard in the hole against Steph Swart. The ball with Van Heerden on the right-hand side. To Zach Cicero. They've given him space. He's going to have a crack. Almost sneaks it under the arms of Ross Strauss now in goals for the Vics. Here comes Calvin Kidd. There is some space in front. He finds Hayes on the far side, who's also in front of his man. A little bit of indecision from Hayes there, allowing the defenders to get back. Swart's going to have a crack, but it's good work from Declan Lesh there. Absolutely no doubt. Strong left hand to him as that shot was middle third and actually making it easy for the keeper. Greg Price has space, takes a shot, but Strauss with a big save there, pushing it onto the woodwork, and Van Heerden recovers for another 20. Matt Fenn driving down and draws the exclusion there against Alex Polferman. Cicero, back to Van Heerden. Cicero, Price, Smith, moving the ball quick, back to Van Heerden, looking to create an option for the postman. To Greg Price, Mark Smith, he's going to have a crack. But it's a big block from Matthew Hayes. Rushes Mark Smith and gets turned for his troubles. So Matt Hayes grabbing the arm of Mark Smith there, but Steph Swart was in between him and the goals, and that's why no penalty was blown. Price draws the foul from October. He has a crack, but that's over the top. Seems UCT has caught the man up bug here, and they're not taking the most, or making the most of these opportunities. The Vics haven't created too much in attack though, so scoreboard pressure very much still on the Vics. That comes to October. Back to Calvin Kidd. Greg Price fronting Truter in the hole there. Calvin Kidd draws the foul. He's able to have the shot and he puts it away from 7 meters. Bottom left-hand corner, or right-hand corner should I say. Declan Lesh not able to get that left hand out to make the save. Well, deficit reduced. It's now back to a 2-goal game. UCT just not able to take the bull by the horns yet. And the Vics very much in it still. Fenn on the top. Greg Price sitting on about halfway, gets the ball, he puts it into Pereira, looking to create the opportunity to shoot from the outside, but he fumbles as he goes through and he's reversed for not playing himself there on that fumble. October draws the foul. Truter trying to work hard here against Ross Stewart, but it's a poor pass, skips past him. And Mark Smith mops up there at the back. Greg Price now sitting for the UCT. Ball goes into Zach Cicero. And the 2 sixes on each other there, but ref deeming that Cicero was sinking and therefore not sanctioning anything against Adam October. Did just enough to get an arm and move the ball. October has a crack as the clock winds down. And that's it for the third chukker here. 2 goals in it. 6 minutes of water polo left for these two sides at the Gauteng Invitational. Well, let's see if someone can make a move in the final chukker. We'll be back in just a short while. Momentarily lost internet connection as we see Calvin Kidd there for the Vics putting that away, reducing the deficit once again to 2 goals.
UCT!
3.5 minutes of water polo left here for these two teams here at the Gauteng Invitational. UCT in control, but the game's by no means over, as Matthew Hayes makes a big steal there at the bottom of the D there for the Maties Vics. They're going to have to push the tempo a little bit as Zach Cicero forces the steal. Here comes Amamaragane down the right-hand side, but there's a counter on the left. Great play from Hansen to Mark Smith, who finds himself one-on-one with keeper Ross Strauss, and he makes absolutely no mistake there in front of goals, moving across to the left, creating the angle and putting it away. Marty's now pulling their keeper Ross Strauss from the pool, and they're going to play 7-on-6, 7 outfield players. Try force a goal here, reduce the 2-goal deficit. Renica, he's been given space, comes across to Swart. He's going to have a crack, but that's off the woodwork. Swart recovers. Ball to Palfreman. Calvin Kidd. He takes another shot. It's well blocked from Mark Smith. Another 20 here for the Vics. It's really now or never for the Vics side. Calvin Kidd. He has a crack and he puts it away. Well, that took 37 seconds for them to score with the 7-on-6. But they've managed to get the goal that they were after. Ross Strauss will go back into the cage. Ross Stewart in possession. Kick-off from Leo Pereira, and Matthew Hayes is away on the counter. 2-on-1 playing out here. Hayes and Truter. Hayes is going to go all the way, and he puts it away. We got 1 goal in it. This is turning into an absolute barn burner here at the Gauteng Invitational. These teams playing for 5th place. 1 goal in it. Still a bit of time left on the clock here. If I look at the scoreboard, 1:51 left on the clock. Hansen drives down into the hole. Mark Smith looking to create the opportunity as Palfreman tries to force the seal, but Zach Cicero strong in possession. He draws the foul. Durant working hard on the right-hand post. There's space here for Matt Fenn. He's going to have a crack, but it's a big save from Ross Strauss. And here comes the Vics on attack. Marty's covering well. Ball to Matt Hayes. He's going to play Swart. Across to Calvin Kidd. Lots of action in the hole. And Andre Truter gives away the exclusion there. Not the exclusion, sorry, the contra foul on the shoulders of Greg Price. As we head into the last minute, UCT looking to play their full 30. Limit the time that the Vics have to level up here. Swart and Smith working hard in the hole. Truter not backing off, and that's so silly. Gives away that exclusion. And Coach Chubbs calling the timeout for UCT. They will have 15 seconds of extra man. If they score, that's game over with 33 left on the clock. Final instructions coming here. Look for the Vics to rush the shooters on the top of the D, put them under pressure, try force the steal and get away on the counter. "40 seconds done. They're going to be called into the pool. Matt Fenn's going to collect the ball, and we're underway. 33 seconds to go. Ball to Price on the top left-hand side. He's going to go to Durant on the bottom left. Up to Fenn. Hansen on the right. Hansen has a crack, and timeout called by Blake Holmes for the Vics. So 17 seconds for Maties to try and level it up here. Take the game to penalties. Let's see what Coach Blake Holmes and assistant coach Vaughan Polo have in store for us here. Sitting on the edge of my seat, ladies and gentlemen, this is very exciting. Reynick is going to collect on halfway. Ball is put in. Play the 7-on-6 here are Maties. Keeper out of the goals. 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2. And that is all she wrote. Great defense in the end from the UCT. And they secure 5th place here at the Gauteng Invitational. Thanks for joining us. We've got 3rd and 4th place playoffs in the Jubilee coming up. We'll be back in just a few minutes.